Hello, my name is Jumane Tambarike, and today I'm going to teach you about Microsoft Visual Studio's Integrated Developer Environment. Go to Start if you have already purchased Microsoft Visual Studio 2008 edition in your computer. Definitely in Program Options you will find it. Click Microsoft Visual Studio 2008. Go to File menu. Select New Project, wait for a while. A window will pop up and ask you which language you want to use. Since I'm going to teach you today about Visual Basic and not Visual C# or Visual C++, then you don't need that one. You go straight to Visual Basic, and we're going to select Visual Basic Windows Forms application, the basic one. Then if you want to start with, we want to do our task in VB.NET Framework 3.5 edition. You see there's some other previous version, but we're going to use 3.5 edition. We can rename our application which we're going to create. We can call it any name we want. For example, we can give a name like Class 1 App. Class 1 App. Then you can click OK. As soon as you click OK, the VB.NET IDE will pop up to show you that you're already in the developing environment for VB.NET. What you saw on your screen is a VB.NET form or Visual Basic form where you can manipulate, add some object and tools inside it, and also there's so many other stuff on the screen. To start with, since I want to teach you about the integrated developer environment, I want you to understand the different windows. We have a Solution Explorer where you can see the name of your project forms, and the content within your project. Then we have the data sources. If you're going to do a project which involves linking to the database or outside data sources, then you're going to see from here the data in which you want to link to your form or to your project. Then we have a toolbox window. Where you can find different kind of controls. Controls are the one which make Visual Basic an interesting language to study or to learn because it makes things easier. You can put event into these controls so that you can be able to learn your application or your software. We have different kind of controls inside, like a button, a checkbox, a combo box, a datetime picker. And one interesting thing about Microsoft Visual Studio 2008 edition, it has something which is called power packs, which prevent you from writing a huge line of code about Visual Basic. You can just select a power pack and put it onto your form and add another control and put some few codes offline, and everything goes fine. Boom, just like that. And also we have other windows like errorist window, whereby if you run some wrong line of code, it's going to pop up some errors and warnings and give you some messages about the output expect to give. So the green button over here is the button for debugging, so you can run your application as soon as you build it, you can test it, run it, and if there's anything wrong with the application, a window should pop up to show you the window in runtime mode. So you can close it to go back to the design mode, and also you can select your toolbox, you can select one of the control, maybe a button, you can put a button there. And there's another window which is very important, which is called properties window. It allows you to manipulate a button. Through property window we can rename our button. We can call it maybe, let's say, Enter, and we can change the size of our button. We can change the color for a button. We can sorry, I was selecting a form. We can change the location of our button on our form. We can decide the background color. We can decide how to position it. So you can do all those stuffs, and you can even change the name of your button. But this stuff is very vital. As soon as you change the name, you must know the real name, because in the codes, that is the name which is going to be used to learn your codes. Thank you, and that is all about my initial tutorial about the VB.NET on Visual Basic 2008 edition integrated developer environment. See me on the next class. Thank you for being with me.